I believe sometimes we don't we forget that it's all right to not have everything figured out. We live in a world that makes you feel like you're behind if you don't have your dream job, passion, your relationship, your purpose. You're failing straight out of high school. You were just a kid that didn't know what to do, who didn't even know how to drive. You didn't have your driver's license. You go from being told everything to do. Your parents make your schedule. They enlist you in the schools. The teachers tell you what to do, to all of a sudden having to have your life figured out for the next 60 plus years. And it's laughable almost. Like nobody will ever have that figured out in that short span of a time. It's not like when you go from being 17, a minor, to being 18 and grown, all of a sudden your brain just fucking, your frontal lobe just fully develops in that split second when your birthday comes, you know? Just some people just hide their confusion better, trying to make it seem like they have this shit figured out. I can guarantee you they don't. Maybe what they're doing now is working, but that's not, they don't know what they want to do. They're just doing it because it's working. Not to say that's a bad thing either. But like I said, I spent a lot of time comparing myself to others. I compare myself to Asho Speed with the way that we're both 20 years old, but his life is so much more vast and fun and explosive and shit. Like he has done so much more than I could ever do right now. You know, right now that's a dream to me, but instead of looking at that shit and being like, nah, that's never gonna happen, I could look at that shit in a positive light, turn that into a, yeah, that's possible. Look at what he's doing, you know? It doesn't always have to be a, I'm shit now. Like, yeah, as I said, life isn't a race, you know? It's more of a puzzle, and you find one piece at a time. And you got to keep building up that pieces though all of a sudden now you got that whole picture. You know exactly what you built now. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be confused right now. You're not supposed to have every fucking thing figured out to the T. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're just supposed to take it for real, one step at a time. One day you do something, next day you do the next, and you build upon that building blocks. That's how you figure out what you want to do, one step at a time. It's like you're building a staircase to the top. You don't think you're moving, but once you look behind you, you're going to see how many steps you really took to get where you're at right now. Peace starts when you when you stop trying to control every outcome. The people you look up to, they don't have the perfect plan either. They may have had a general idea and acted upon that idea, but that was just one step. Once that step worked, they went on to the next step. And from the outside looking in, that should seem like a full formulated plan. But if you ask them themselves, they would tell you straight up. They just went with the flow. They saw what happened and they went on to the next and to the next. You don't need a 5 year plan. You just need to make most of what you're doing this year. Hell, make most of what you're doing today. And every day you wake up, make the most of that shit. That's how you're going to build it. You know, you don't need to be everything right now. You just need to start something. Be something. Don't be everything. Be something. When you're nothing, you're not making progress. You're not taking any steps at all. You're just being lazy at that point. Come on, let's be honest. Cause the truth is, like, you're not behind. You're building quietly, for real, for real. There's so much more to talk about with this topic of people acting like they have shit figured out. It has to do with that fake confidence I talked about. It has to do with niggas trying to act more mature than they are and trying to fake it till they make it basically. But sometimes you don't have to act like, yeah, you have made it. It's all right to be like, nah, I don't got this shit figured out, but I'm going and I'm doing something at least. I ain't doing nothing. That's always better than doing. It's always better than doing nothing. That's it. That's day 15. You fuck with it. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment. That's that's all for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.